This is 97.9 WRMF, Palm Beach.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. Jason talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Well, hello and welcome to Friday. It is the KVJ show. Got a big old party. It's broken out in here, y'all. Dang, look at that.
Happy birthday.
Ooh-hee. Yeah, I came right in there. It startled me. I was like, good heavens.
The Kevin Ralston's birthday.
Oh, yeah, it is. A little party time. Yeah. All right, it is Friday. We got it on KVJ TV. Just go to YouTube, hit up the KVJ show, and we're right there.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that dirt of the day.
Well, coming up in just a second. Remember we told you yesterday about Danny Masterson getting arrested and charged with counts that he forcibly took advantage of 3 different women. Now, Danny Masterson is responding. He's put out a statement from his attorneys. I'll tell you what that said coming up in just a second. Before we get into that, some happy news for Raven Symone. I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but she got married. She put a post up on Instagram featuring her and her new wife, Miranda. And she said, quote, "I got married to a woman who understands me from trigger to joy.
Yes.
From breakfast to midnight snack and from stage to home. I love you. I'm married now. Yay."
Yeah, and then I loved her last line in that. She said, "Let's tear this world a new a-hole." To me, that's a great charge as a new couple together. It's just, let's go out and get it.
In other news, Mama June, we haven't heard from her in a while because I think she's been on the smack. Her family tried to do an intervention. Even little Honey Boo Boo was pleading for her mother to stop using drugs, and the drugs had such a stranglehold on her. You saw June last walk out of an intervention they were doing for her.
Is that how she lost all that weight? Or did she get surgery?
No, she got surgery.
Okay.
Yeah, she got extensive surgery and all kinds of help. And I think she's, I don't know, trying to destroy her body again. They put it back together. She's like Humpty Dumpty. She was a mess. They put her back together. Now she's trying to become a mess again.
I tell you, man, those drugs, it is. That's why kids, drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
It is tough to kick.
Here's Mama June talking about just how much money it was costing her and what she was spending on the drugs.
The only reason I sold the house, we was dead broke. Because, you know, at that point, we was doing quite a bit. I mean, it was a couple ounces a day. Our habit was $2,500 a day, if not more.
$2,500 on meth a day.
What?
Dang.
It's a lot of meth.
Isn't it?
Gosh.
Well, I don't know. $2,500 of anything's a lot, isn't it?
Amen.
What are the sliding standards on if you had an ounce of meth, an ounce of cocaine, an ounce of whatever? Anybody know an ounce of great weed? Like, what are the price ranges on all that?
Isn't weed the cheapest? Denny's?
Yeah, I don't know.
I bet you it goes weed, meth, coke.
I heard crack was pretty cheap, too, though.
Oh, yeah. Weed, meth, crack, coke.
It might be weed crack.
All things
Am I
considered,
close?
we have the exact same weight
each of them.
each. Yes. What is the price scale?
So cocaine's a little more expensive. Marijuana and cocaine are probably in the middle of the upper. A lot of those other drugs are cheper, which is why a lot of people get hooked on them. Like crack cocaine's pretty cheap.
I thought crack was cheap.
Yeah, it's a cheap way of getting high.
How about like the heroin? Do you know?
So heroin's a little more expensive, and I think that some of the people have to switch to pills when they can't get the heroin, which is even more expensive.
Okay.
What about a meth?
Meth is like it's not as expensive as the other ones. I mean, so I mean, if you're getting 25. What is it?
$2,500
that's
worth
a lot
of
of
meth.
meth.
That's a lot.
She was
Yeah.
probably mixing other drugs.
Yeah.
And Oxycontin is what? Isn't that what they call the hillbilly heroin?
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
them pills,
Well, that's
right?
what when people can't get heroin. If heroin goes dry, then they have to switch to those, opiates, and then they get hooked on those.
Oh, those things are wicked.
Yeah,
Those things are wicked. Yeah, I've seen those kind of things.
Those things are like $20 a pop.
Dang. So Mama June, I mean, geez. I don't know what's going to happen with her. Denny's, what do you think?
Well, if she's doing that much meth, I mean, she's got to be up for days.
She was doing that much.
She was doing
meth.
that much?
It's.
I don't know.
I think she kicked it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't want to speak for Mama June. I don't want to speak for you either, Virginia.
I think, yeah, she's trying to turn a corner, so that's good. And then finally here, thank you, Denny.
Thanks, Denny's.
Danny Masterson is talking. You know, yesterday we told you about how he had been arrested for forcibly taking advantage of 3 different women. He put out a response and a statement yesterday through his attorneys and said, quote, "This is beyond ridiculous. I'm not going to fight my ex-girlfriend in the media like she's been baiting me to do for more than 2 years. I will beat her in court and look forward to it because the public will finally be able to learn and see the truth of how I've been railroaded by this woman. And once her lawsuit is thrown out, I will sue her and the others who jumped on the bandwagon for the damage they have caused me and my family."
Whoa. Okay.
So he's saying he didn't do it, and they're all lying. And he claims that the girl was his girlfriend.
Okay.
And that is what's going on in your dirt of the day.
The best variety from the 2000s, 10s, and today, and your home for the KVJ Show. 97.9 WRMF.
Somebody had actually sent in a post here just a second ago. Maybe check Instagram for Mama June because it shows her walking along Jensen Beach.
Really?
Yeah. So
She's here?
I don't know. That's what somebody sent. We were talking a second ago about. She's talking about a $100 a day meth habit. Is that what it was?
That's what she said.
All right.
But it was her and her man, and you can bet that he wasn't contributing financially.
Okay.
I'm sure he wasn't pulling his weight.
Okay. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Somebody said, too, Mama June was also doing cocaine.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And somebody said weed is $160 and coke is $1,200.
Dang.
Poor.
That's why they call that
This
designer
lady's,
drug.
That's a big difference.
Okay. All right. So some fascinating stuff. So thank you very much. If we want to know about Mama June and drug prices, we have a great audience for that.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you got on your mind today, Bird?
Well, I don't know if you guys could tell or not, but my pizza outfit came in.
Oh, yes. It's nice.
Look at this sweet
Real
thing.
nice.
It's an adult. Would you call this a onesie, Virginia?
It's a tracksuit onesie.
Yeah, I mean, Kev, look at this thing. So I got my pizza hat on. Go ahead. You can read it, Virginia.
Feed me pizza.
Oh, that's nice.
And then look at these pizza shoes I got with these pizza socks. Pizza socks.
They're like old, rip-off Doc Martens, but they have pizza all over
Look
them.
at those.
Yeah, I heard you
sweet-
walking in those. Oh, whoa. Those are very pimpy.
You can tell that I'm coming. Oh, yeah, the pizza man's a coming.
Okay. It's exciting.
You can,
Yeah.
You can hear me
Are
in
you
my
okay?
No.
No.
I am definitely going through something.
Yeah.
And I also got, if you want to get a little crazy, pizza shirt underneath.
Every pizza is a personal pizza if you believe in yourself.
Boom. What do you
Wow.
think, huh?
Yeah. I think it's outstanding.
It's what's on my mind. I'm
Good,
happy.
Pops. I get it.
I think it does pop. I have my pizza blanket in the car. I'm going to go get during commercial break. It kind of gives me a pizza cape.
Why?
And also, just I know you can't. You guys got to tune into KVJ TV to see all this mediocrity. But look, it's also got a hood on it too. If I want to go ahead and just be a pizza pimp.
Oh, it does. Yeah. With those shoes,
Yeah,
you're a
and
pizza pimp.
Here's the thing: this is not the only pizza outfit I ordered.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yes.
How many did you get?
I got 4.
Wow.
4 different pizza outfits.
Whoa.
They're investment
That's
pieces.
going all in.
They are investment pieces. I'm sure I'm going to do some kind of pizza video at some point in my life soon.
Another pizza video.
I'm sure I will.
Virginia, what you got on your mind today?
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to reel in Mags and keep her safe, but man, it is so hard. And I'm sure anybody with a teenager out there that's going through trying to keep them on lockdown, dealing with corona, and still allowing them to have some sort of life, it is tough. And apparently she's talking to some people in her life. I don't know who it is. I'm trying to figure out if it's other kids or if it's maybe she overheard the parent of another kid that said, we can't live in fear. So yesterday, I sat her down. I said, Mags, Palm Beach County is having like the highest numbers it's had. So even higher than when we first went on lockdown. And I'm just really worried. And I don't want you exposing yourself to new people. I don't want you hanging out with new people. I don't want you going around new people. I need you to stay in our little bubble. And she repeats back to me, the line that you hear some people say, we can't live in fear. I'm not going to live in fear anymore. I need to live my life, Mom.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So what do I do? What do I say? How do I cut through with her? I'm really struggling because I don't want her to live in fear. When you say that, live in fear.
Yeah.
It's very polarizing.
False evidence appearing real. Fear. That's one of those little.
Well, I'm basing my fear on real evidence that, we had over 3,200 cases yesterday, and I was like, what?
You're right. That's not false evidence.
That's not false. That's real.
Well,
but
depends on who you ask. Some people think it's false, depending on who you ask.
I hear you. Even if it's half of what they say it is, isn't that still scary?
Yeah, do I buy 100% into the numbers that I'm hearing now? They're confusing, and who knows? But I still hopefully have some kind of faith in our public officials, and so when I see things in numbers and the such, that I'm like, okay, then this could be something. Is my freak level really up? But no, I was probably about a week or two ago mentally going in like, cool, we're coming out of this. I'm going to start really relaxing even some of the precautions I do. Now I'm just like, okay, I don't feel any more scared. I am just going to do the necessary things. And again, a big part of that is still out of consideration. And so maybe this is a lesson on consideration for Mags about it's not necessarily all about you. That is it's really kind of a very self-centered approach to life, saying, you know what, I don't care about anybody else and what happens to them. I care about me, and I have my own rights and freedoms and this and that. Sometimes it's just, if we're all going to live on this marble and fly around this sun, we got to have some considerations for the people that are around us and try to be nice when we can.
Well, I can tell Palm Beach County has been in other national news reports because I guess we've had a spike. Because I'm getting calls from relatives out of state going, you better not be going out because we're seeing the Palm Beach County as a hot zone.
Yeah,
so it's being reported outside of
The
Florida.
headline says, 10 states saw a record number of new COVID-19 cases this week, and Florida could be the next epicenter of the national health crisis. So whenever you turn on any of the news networks, they go right to Florida, and then specifically, there's either a reporter that's in Miami or Palm Beach, so it's one of the three counties.
It's
where you've
always
got somebody
South Florida.
There. Yeah, and we have higher numbers in the rest of the state. So, technically, we are looking at being in the epicenter. The people who right now can listen to 97.9 WRMF on their radio, you would be possibly in what is looking like the new coronavirus hotspot.
It's tough. It's tough to parent.
Sure. Yeah. But, maybe trying that approach that, hey, you've got somebody in your house that you come in contact with. Or just you're putting us in a position as a family that if you want to live this way, you can't be around KK.
And it's causing strain between me and my husband.
I understand, yeah.
When he sees her with a new person, which she brought a new person around, he gets all upset, and then he's upset with me, but he can't yell at her. But he doesn't want to yell at me either, but he's mad. Now he's mad at me, and he's not saying it.
Yeah, because he wants you to rein her in.
Right.
Why don't you pull a page out of Kay Pennington's book, My Sweet Beloved Mother? Just say, I'm your mother, and I said so. That's why. Just why don't you...
Well, I did last night. So she came to me, and it was about 9 o'clock when she's supposed to be getting back in the house, settled down, no more running the neighborhood, calm down and get ready for bed. She came to me and she said a bunch of kids were going to the beach. Could she go? And I said, absolutely not. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not that mom, but there are other moms in the neighborhood that are like, sure,
and
yeah.
It's tough for you.
Go to the beach.
When
Name them,
kids can
shame
do
them.
Well, and maybe point out too, do they have somebody in their house that has the pre-existing conditions that makes it an issue, and make her understand that unfortunately you are in a household where we have different circumstances. We're not under the same circumstances as those girls. I know it's got to be really tough, and yeah, life is not fair. This is part of it, but out of consideration, for your stepfather and to be in this house, these are just the guidelines right now. Hey, nobody asked for this.
Right.
It's not fair to anybody. Trust me, nobody's being treated fairly with any of this stuff. And this is just part of it.
And then you got someone, so Christy T in the chat room says, I don't understand why people treat a positive COVID-19 as a death sentence. It's not like finding out you have cancer or something. 98% survival rate. Remember that.
Mm-hmm. And that what she's saying there, that is for a lot of us, that's how I feel. I'm like, okay, if I get this thing, I'm going to kick its butt. It's not freaking me out. But I do know you look at the numbers, and it's about the nursing homes. And it is about people with some pre-existing conditions. And it does seem like the death rate is going down. If there's any kind of like, hey, yeah, okay, good stuff, it does seem like they're handling it better. Maybe, I don't know, the virus is weaker. Some people say it's not how the virus works. But maybe the medical field is understanding how to treat it better. And so we're getting on top of it that way. So that, to me, is the biggest positive. Yes, it's still very prevalent, but we're handling it better and less people are dying.
That's what my sister said. She said they don't handle it the same now that they handled it back in March.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just don't.
Right.
They learned so much along the way, and they're not intubating as many people because they were finding that when they intubated them, for a lot of people, that became the death sentence.
Yes, right, exactly.
And
yeah.
they're just not, they're trying to do other things and switch it up, and it's scary, man. I mean, if you got it back in March and you were older and you got intubated, it didn't look good.
Yeah. So that is really the good news right now.
They are getting better.
Yeah, they're getting better at that. So the headline, just to hit really quickly, and why your family members from out of state are calling you. Yes, yesterday Florida had 3,207 new coronavirus cases. That is a new record. It is the first time during the pandemic that the state has had more than 3,000 positive tests in one day. And the last 3 days here in Florida rank in the top 3 since the pandemic began. So not in the right order, but it's 1, 2, 3 out of the last 3 days since the whole thing started going. So, South Florida has more cases of coronavirus even in the state. We have 29% of the state's population and 51.4% of the cases.
Wow.
Yeah, so
every time I hear stats when we're leading, I want to say good job. It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for this one.
Well, the one that got me, I keep looking at the positive tests, I'll tell you that. And a month ago, the people that were testing for coronavirus is 3.5% positive. That was of all the people taking the test. So it doesn't matter how many we've tested, that's just a percentage. Yesterday from Thursday, 12.5% tested positive. 10%, it was that threshold where if we're over 10%, nothing should be open. But we've already opened up, and apparently we're not going back. But as you go out this weekend, keep that in mind, that if they set that threshold, they said that 10% is what you should be looking at. And if we're at 12.5 and you don't want to catch it because, it's still like a nasty, who wants the flu? And if you knew the flu was running around like crazy, you might be like, maybe we'll just chill out and stay at home this weekend.
So you're allowed out, but how dare you go out? Okay, I got the message. There you go.
No, you want to do it, you go out.
I know, I'm kidding.
It's all good.
Yesterday,
don't pay me with that brush.
Just seeing people on social media, once again, because it's dominating the headlines again, there are people going, if you go out, you're selfish. And then other people, it's my right to go out.
I'm not living in fear.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
Mags.
It is.
Mags yelling.
It's knowing everybody's got a different situation. And so for me, arm yourself with the numbers and what people are saying, and then you make your own personal decision how you want to handle it. That's the way life should be. This is another good little tidbit maybe you might want to process with it. In South Florida, 1 of every 6 people with COVID-19 is hospitalized. 1 of every 6.
Quick, Virginia, what's the percentage? 1 out of 6?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
All right, we're moving on.
Can you get back to me?
Yes.
Palm Beach County overall has 74% of their ICU beds occupied. And The good news was some South Florida hospital leaders have said that, these numbers can be misleading if you're looking at the beds available because they have the ability to add intensive care beds if needed.
Yeah, that's what my sister's hospital did. Like normally they only treat 12,
Right.
but they upped it to 20.
And they can flip them around by taking a regular bed and making an ICU. Really, and this is how everyone's adapting. Hospitals are adapting and changing and getting better dealing with coronavirus. That's why it is a different environment now, even though the numbers are scary. We're just getting better at it. We're understanding it a little bit more, and the hospital and the medical fields are.
Okay. You let's say you get COVID and you have to share a hospital room with either Virginia or the bird.
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
I'm picking you.
Yeah. In your face, Virginia.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, you don't want to have some chick in your room.
Oh, and she's in there just feeding me with all the worst case scenarios.
Worst case scenario.
Nonstop. And I'm just like, she might crack at my positivity.
Okay, I'm going to try to cure you with pizza.
That's right.
Yeah, okay,
It's all good. I might just throw my diet out the window.
If you get COVID,
if I
you
get
have
COVID,
to.
I might just eat whatever I want at that point. Let's do it. I did want to throw out a little bit of positivity here. What's on my mind? Thought this was kind of cool. There is an idea floating around. It's not anything definite, but they're thinking, maybe we should give a vacation stimulus to Americans where you could get half of a trip reimbursed up to $4,000 if you travel somewhere around the U.S.
Is that for people who had a vacation that they didn't get to go, or is that to stimulate the economy?
It's to stimulate the economy. So it's just kind of saying, hey, if you would take a staycation somewhere, just kind of get out of your general area, but go somewhere else to spend some money, then we would give you a vacation credit up to $4,000.
Is everybody eligible for that?
I haven't heard all the details, and it's nothing, like I said, it's not locked in stone, so they probably would have to come up with who would be available, but it definitely got my attention.
It's not even real. It's kind of like when you said the Russians were curing blindness. Is it real? Is it going to happen?
Don't rain on my positivity. I said it's an idea floating around, so let's wish with positivity
you're right.
that it comes true, and this could be something where you could start saying, okay, if I could take a vacation and they would pick up $4,000 of it, where would I go and what would I do?
You could do a lot.
Yeah, you could.
That's a lot
Yeah,
for a
you
whole
could.
family.
Yeah, you could. I'm leading on the hopeful, wishful, positive side. Ohio State has got that game in Oregon this year.
That would be so awesome if they really did that.
Oh my gosh! And this stimulus comes out, and somehow they actually play this game.
A vacation?
And people can actually go watch it.
Vacation stimulus. I mean, it sounds unbelievable.
It sounds unbelievable, but I wanted to give you a dash of positivity with everything else going on. We can all dream, can't we?
And you said it's going to be $4,000?
It would, yes. You would be reimbursed up to $4,000 if you travel somewhere around the U.S.
Dang.
Oh, mama, we are going out of town finally.
That's fancy.
That could be a lot of fun, right?
Port St. Lucie, I'm coming. You know what I could do? I could live like a king.
You really could.
Go a little staycation in the Pizzle.
Is Airbnb back open?
Don't know.
I know they had shut it down for a while, and that was really weird to me because the state said hotels could reopen, but not Airbnbs. I'm like, what?
Maybe they could regulate those better.
I know, but
Make
I mean,
sure they're clean.
Think about the exposure numbers of just having all those people in a lobby.
What do you feel better, going to a regular hotel or the Airbnb?
Absolutely Airbnb.
I just always feel like Airbnb, I don't know, it's very murderous.
In the times of Corona, yes, you're right. Airbnbs are murderous because you don't know who's got a key.
It reeks of murder.
But in the times of Corona, I think it's safer to be in an Airbnb than a hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. People are already shooting down my positivity. Yeah, okay, but you're unemployed. How the hell are you going to have money to go someplace you get reimbursed? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So, yeah.
I didn't want to poo-poo on it. It just sounds so awesome.
It's
I
not
don't want
a
to
bit
get
realistic.
I don't want to get excited.
I get it. It's not realistic.
Don't read the comments.
That's like saying, all right, kids, we might go to Disney World today. Really? No, we're not going to go, probably.
But we could dream. We can all dream, can't we? Let's not take away my dream.
I'm actually kind of mad now.
Yeah, I know it's completely unrealistic and it's not going to happen, but don't take away my dream.
It's KVJ. When and where you want it. Listen to the KVJ Show and the After the Show podcast daily, commercial free. Search your smartphone's podcast app to listen for free. 97.9 WRMF.
Do you see parts of your dad starting to come out in you, Jaybird? Like
Yes.
you do some things that as a kid you remember your dad doing?
Absolutely.
What would you say is one of the things that stands out to you? Be like, wow, that's something my dad totally does.
My dad liked to try to invent stuff. I feel like I try to invent things sometimes. I come in here and pitch them to you guys in the Shark Tank.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, even the sense of humor, the way I interact with my dog Chewy, I talk to Chewy just like a human. My dad always treated the dog like a human. In fact, that was quite a bit of contention between my mom and my dad. My dad was a huge animal lover. My mom wasn't really fond of animals. So my dad would, have a special relationship with the family dog.
And your dad would bring home random new pets.
The funniest thing is when my dad went out on a bike. Mm-hmm. He was gone for a few hours. Like, where did Dad go on a bike? Comes back with a rabbit. We're like, oh, rabbit, a family rabbit. My mom goes, get it out of here now. My dad had to take that rabbit right back.
Right out, huh?
Yeah.
He wanted a rabbit.
He did. But yeah, just the way I interact with Chewy is a lot the way my dad would interact.
Yeah. I kind of wonder about mine. The one thing is, like, sometimes I'll notice, like, my dad, things are going on, kind of like a kind of grumble under
your breath.
And I caught myself the other day, kind of like something was going on. I was like, I'm like, oh no. I'm like,
oh no.
Oh no. It's kind of like when I was a kid, there was this cartoon character. And in fact, if you watch the new Scooby-Doo, it was that dog that remember that?
Yeah.
And my dad kind of does that. I've caught myself doing it as well.
Yeah, my dad would talk to himself a lot too. Maybe that's just something that happens after time.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that is a big old dadism that just a lot of dads wind up doing. And if that's the case, I'm doing it. If you wonder when it might happen to you, if you haven't started doing it yet, they say that the average age that guys notice they start turning into their dad or doing their own dadisms is around the age of 37.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's typically when you're going to notice you doing those kind of things, like going, wow, all right, yep, starting to turn into my dad. Yeah, they say the top 3 signs you're turning into your dad: you start taking grilling seriously. My dad's never been a big griller. You fix things instead of replacing them. My dad's not been really big into home maintenance. And you start telling dad jokes. Okay, there you go. My dad's always been into dad jokes.
What constitutes a dad joke? Is it something
it's a corny...
And you think the dad thinks it's funny?
Waka waka.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. So that is technically what a dad joke is. If you got one you want to throw at us, you can. It is 877-979-WRMF. Sunday, of course, coming up on Father's Day. And this is kind of a nice little touching tribute I remember Jay-Bird came up with last year for his own dad, Randy.
Aww.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice tribute called My Dad is Sexy, if you've never heard it here.
It's a silent piece.
Yeah, not playing for some reason.
It should be in the Vox, bro.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where is that, Denny's? I don't see it. Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is.
Put it right down there. Okay, we'll play it right here for you then.
So I wrote you a Father's Day song.
Okay.
My dad is sexy. He is so smart. He sounds so wise even when he farts. My dad is sexy. He's got a sweet mustache. He's got a big old dong and a tight little ass. My dad is sexy.
Yep.
He plays tennis real hard. He's got a beautiful chest. He's got beautiful nards. My dad is sexy. He wears his socks to his knees. He wears tighty whities. That shows off his D.
Oh, yeah.
My dad is sexy. His name is Randy.
Yep.
He makes love sweeter than candy. My dad is sexy. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, thanks, Jay.
He didn't know I was going to sing him that. I just put the camera on and started singing. He's like, what?
Thanks, Jay. That's lovely. Celebrity birthdays today. Gotta say, what up? And a big old birthday shout out. Is going out to Macklemore. The Seattle rapper is 37 today. Zoe Saldana, beautiful lady, from all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies is 42 today. And also, Paula Abdul is turning 58 today. Happy birthday to all of them. Also got a shout out, my daughter Sophia's 8th birthday. We wish her a happy birthday from Mommy, Ian, J, Luna, and Yogi. Jackie Roberts sent that in. Thank you, Jackie.
Aw, Jackie.
Also a birthday shout out to Shannon from Shireen. You can see some photos there out of some KVJ events on KVJ TV.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Oh, man, I look drunk. Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, you know.
It wasn't a good look for either one of us. That was that night I was wearing a bald cap.
Yeah, we both looked rough that night. I definitely was a little bit more portly.
I was hammered.
Also a birthday shout out for somebody tomorrow. Elena is having her birthday on Saturday, and she sends it from Russia with love. So there you go. Be a great name for a movie. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, we do have some movies on deck for you. It is about that time for, you know what, Jay Bird?
No Name Movie Game!
That's right, y'all. Let's get this thing going on here. Who wants to play some No Name Movie Game today?
I got the belt.
Yeah, you do got the belt. Yeah, you do. Alrighty, time to do the No Name Movie Game here on the KVJ Show. Jaybird is the champ, pulling one closer to Virginia. I believe you've got still a 2-win lead on him, though, Virginia.
He's certainly picked a very intimidating outfit to wear in here today.
He's peacocking.
Yes, I feel good. I feel clear-headed.
You just look hard to beat.
Yes, good. A little saucy today.
Virginia's going to start off here with David from Royal Palm. Hello, David.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. All right, Virginia's going to give you the clues to movies. She can't use any of the characters' names, any of the actors' names, or the words from the title of the movie, okay?
Okay.
All right, David, we got this.
I wish you all good luck.
Thank you, Pizza Boy.
Good luck.
Okay, here we go. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins now.
Pass. The opposite of nice and the opposite of boys.
Bad boys.
Opposite of boys is what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Zero bad. Pass.
Okay, pass on that one.
Sorry.
Pass on that one. We're off to see. We're going to skip down the yellow brick road to see this guy.
The Wizard.
But it's
Wizard.
the area they lived in. It's called what? The Wizard of
Yellow
Blank.
Brick Road.
The Wizard of Blank.
Yellow Brick Road. Oh.
I think he said it. Did he say it?
No, he didn't say it. It's the Wizard of Blank.
Wizard of Oz.
There you go. Pass that one. These are white things in your mouth that you chew with.
Teeth.
Yes. A lightning blank comes out of the sky. It's also a movie about a little.
Oh.
Yes.
3. It came on strong in the end, but is it enough to win the tournament?
I don't know. Not with that pizza outfit on.
No, the power coming off you
It's a
today.
power outfit.
Well, let's see. Brandy might bring the bird some good luck. We'll see here. She's going to be on deck to take up with Jay Bird. Denny's, your partner, is going to be Samantha here from Boca. Hello, Samantha.
Hi, guys.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Good.
All right, Denny's with his
Happy
flowing.
birthday, Kevin.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a couple days away, but thank you. It's this weekend. Denny's with his hair looking magnificent.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that thing. I wish I could live in that thing.
Oh, it's shiny. It's amazing.
I
Look at that
pay
thing.
rent
It's
to
getting
live up
bigger.
in that.
Yeah, it is. Looks fantastic. All right, here we go. 60 seconds on the clock. Samantha Denny's going to give you the clues. Your time begins now.
This is All I Ever Wanted, All I Ever Needed. It's a song. It's also what you do when you're not working and you take the family on this.
Vacation?
Yep, beautiful.
Springtime?
This is a term used for kids who don't behave. They're also large-headed dolls. Popular in the 2000s. Pass that one. Let's see. This is a they have a bunch of celebrities made out of this in a place where they show it off to showcase how realistic they look, but they're made of this. It's a term for the place they're located.
Wax museum?
Yeah, it's another term for the same type of thing. It was a horror movie. Pass that one. Let's see. This is it's a thing that stings you, and it's the combination of yellow and blue. It's also the name of a car. It's a superhero that drives it, too.
Oh, the Green Hornet?
Yeah, look at that. This is no, you got it. Let's see. This is you say this when you're looking at your reflection.
Ooh, wow. That was a little sloppy.
Had to second guess.
All right.
Got 2 there, Denny's. All right, so you're out of the running today. Virginia's got lead on you. She has 3. Bird, that's the number that you got to beat here with Brandy from Lake Worth. Hello, Brandy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Brandy?
Yeah.
I need this bad. Let's inject some energy into this game. My gosh. Sounds like Virginia Denny's are zombies over here.
I'm super excited. I listen to it all the time, and I'm always guessing what you say, Jaybird. So let's do it. Come on.
I feel such a great connection. I'm going to go real quick. If we do beat Virginia, we're going to keep going till the buzzer. We're going to set a record today.
It's a good plan, yeah. Play it all out.
I'm going to play it all out. Let's do it.
Yeah, don't rob Brandy of her time. All right, here you go.
Take
You
your
got to
time,
beat
Jaybird.
3.
Take your time. Take a deep breath.
They always coach you up.
All right, here we go, Brandy. Let's.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. No name movie game, Bird. Your time begins now.
You go inside of a lizard that breathes air. Or a fire, a pass. It's a Beatles song. If you want to scamper along the pass, then he's shower scene, murder, shower scene, the mother.
Psycho.
Yes. Oh man, my emotions are all this. My innards pass. 11:59 is what? It is
11:59, almost midnight.
not
midnight.
almost, but what's another word for almost? Pass.
Close to midnight.
Wait, what? Pass. Pass, Denny's. Pass. I wear this to prom. I wear this to my wife's funeral, wedding.
Dress. A black dress.
No, I wear this.
A veil.
No, I'm the man.
To my wife's
Whoa.
No, I'm the man, he yelled.
Taylor Swift over there.
Wow.
That's what the man.
Go ahead.
What the man wore, the tuxedo.
Yeah. Can't believe
Before
we-
midnight.
Yeah.
What do we get?
One.
Nothing. We got.
Yeah.
Well, I got one. Oh, we got one.
Yeah, you got one. You're 3rd place. Yeah.
That wasn't on you, Brandy.
It wasn't on you.
You did good. The clues were impossible.
Okay. Well, that was fun to watch. I don't know about you guys, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, you don't wear a tuxedo to a funeral. I meant to say wedding. Damn it, Bert. Same thing for some people.
And why did your wife die? That's so sad.
I didn't mean to do
The
that.
funeral of your wife? I was like,
He leans sad.
he brought us down a sad
Just
path.
his nature.
Is it disrespectful to wear a tuxedo to your wife's funeral?
Yes.
Okay.
That means you're celebrating.
You bring in some champagne. It might look a little weird. Maybe just a little weird.
Woo! She's dead, y'all.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Finally.
Alrighty.
So what you're saying is I didn't win.
No, didn't work out for you. This weekend, despite the coronavirus numbers, there are a couple things that you can go and check out. They are going to be showing some movies at Hard Rock Stadium. This could be kind of interesting. Selma. Very apropos for Juneteenth here. They're going to be showing that tonight. It is an amazing movie. If you don't go to Hard Rock, watch it at home. That is one I would recommend. It is obviously based on a true story. From what I know, it was pretty accurately represented. It gives you great perspective on this fantastic day of observance, the end of slavery in America. On Saturday, they're going to be showing Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, and then Super Bowl VII. And then on Sunday, they got How to Train Your Dragon. You know, that's a lizard that breathes air.
It wasn't my best round. I get it. I had a rough round. A lot of build up to a poor round. My gosh.
I saw a video of somebody driving into the stadium. They're showing, what it's going to look like. And it is really a cool experience, to pull into the stadium in your car. It's a drive-in movie this weekend.
Just do it for that. I mean, that's pretty cool. Just to say you drove your car onto the stadium.
You have kids, especially on Sunday. That'd be a neat thing to drive onto the floor of Hard Rock Stadium to do that.
Is the grass down? Like the football grass?
No,
Or they take all that up?
They've got kind of like a white. I don't know if they've taken it up. They probably have. Because I think a lot of times they put in brand new sod for games or big games. So I assume they'll start the season with new stuff. So, so they've got kind of like a white tarp down. It looks like it has lines on it. And they've got attendants that kind of tell you how to, where to park and pull in, all that stuff. They also show one out in kind of like the promenade, whatever it is.
Okay,
yeah, they
outside.
got some couches. Yeah, some couches and stuff set up, so you can do that. Just one of the things going on. If you love the Dolphins, a couple are going to be making an appearance at the Ultimate Gamer at Champions Florida in Doral today through Sunday. Kyle Van Noy, Chad Johnson, who used to be at the Dolphins, and also Chris Chambers, a receiver for many years with the Dolphins, are going to be out there. And if you want something else to do, we've got Camp KVJ here for you today.
Woohoo!
A 4-pack of tickets to Lion Country Safari. You can go check that out. It is free, something fun to do with the entire family. If you want that, dial us up right now, 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763.
Admit it, you're still on Facebook, and so are we. Follow the KVJ Show. 97.9 WRMF.
Got a cool little thing for you to do with the kids. It is Lion Country Safari, a 4-pack of tickets. We do it with Camp KVJ. That's what we got for you this week. Who knows what we'll have next week? Right after 7 o'clock is when we typically do it. We'll give you the hookup just like that. And we've got Patty on here from Plantation. Hello, Patty.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
So excited.
I bet, right? I understand you have got 3 kids you're trying to entertain.
Yes, I have 3. Actually, I have a 20-year-old, which I don't know if he'd really be interested in, but my 2 little ones, which is a 9 and an 8-year-old, they would be so excited. Excited.
That is fantastic. Well, I love to hear that. Will you take them and you enjoy Lion Country Safari and then let us know what a good time you had when you get back, okay? Oh, and Jaybird would like for you.
Thank you so much.
Patty, would you mind roaring? Jaybird would like that.
To do what? To roar?
Yes.
Oh, roar.
There you go. Roar. Very good, Patty.
Thank you, Patty.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Love
You're
you
so
guys.
welcome.
Bye.
Love you too. Very nice. Yes, Patty, they're in Plantation, which who knows how long they might be holding on to that name. I was looking at some other stories around South Florida media this morning, and we talked about it yesterday on the show. And there are some names here in South Florida in trying to get rid of some of the things that might be racially insensitive, shining a light on them as to why they are racially insensitive and trying to come up with whether or not we should change it. Plantation was one of the names that came up. I remember we talked a couple years ago about Broward, which is suspect. Just everything Broward County. Now, the county itself and the name Broward comes from a Florida governor 115 years ago named Napoleon Broward, and he decided before his death to pen a lot of letters talking about his segregationist beliefs and keeping the races separate. And because of some of those letters that came out, his statue was removed from the courthouse in 2017, and now a Change.org petition is gaining momentum to change Broward County's name. But like with Plantation, because some people are saying that, Plantation, and they even marketed it as that, it was kind of like a, an oasis, an escape from the hustle and bustle of Fort Lauderdale and Miami. You could go to the serene Plantation, and it, brings back images of the antebellum South that is out there. And so that's why that discussion has happened.
Yeah, the Plantation wasn't serene and peaceful for everybody.
Right, exactly.
It kind of sucked for some.
And that was the point behind it. That's why that is being discussed here. And then I saw yesterday that the University of Florida, they are actually going to discontinue the use and the Gator band's cueing of the Gator bait cheer is part of a large number of anti-racism reforms that the university is trying to take on. I know there was some confusion yesterday because some people are going, you hear they got rid of the gator chomp and this and that? And I was like, no, the gator chomp? And I don't know that that is the case. I am not a massive Florida Gator fan for obvious reasons.
41-14!
I have been to the swamp and I have seen a game there, and I've unfortunately been to a few Gator bars, usually when my team is losing to them. But the cheer, I believe, is separate from the chomp that they do. The cheer says, if you ain't a Gator, you must be Gator bait. And I'm not sure how long it's been going on. There is a former player named Lawrence Wright. He was a safety during their national championship years in the mid-'90s, who says that he created the chant, and he does not agree with the school's decision to remove it. Now, the reason why they are, if you hadn't heard, the term gator bait is associated with the rumored practice of using black children as bait for alligators. Now, the evidence is scarce that the practice actually occurred, but the notion of it was perpetuated in folklore and journalism from the late 19th and 20th century. They would have that, and there was, illustrations and things.
That chant is talking about a gator, though. It's not talking about the race stuff. It's talking, they're the Florida Gators, and they're just saying the gator, the animal, the mascot's going to chomp you if you come into it. That's what that means.
Well, they're just saying the term gator bait, it started as they were joking that you would throw black children to the gators and they would be the gator bait.
But the UF did not do, they don't do gator bait chant because it had a race tied to it. They're doing it because their mascot's a gator, and when you are eaten by a gator, you are gator bait. That's the difference.
Well, that's what Lawrence Wright, who is African American, he says that, hey, look, I mean, it's just something. There's, I think you're going way back for the gator bait, and that's why he says he disagrees with the school's decision. And that's it. This is just part of the discussions that people are having. And the University of Florida, I think they have a couple things that they are looking at. And they're saying, look, we just want to err on the side of caution right now. And so, that was the decision they made. And I'm sure it's going to be a continuing debate that is going to happen within the school.
But if the beginning or the conception of that idea had nothing to do with race and it has to do with the mascot, that chant should be fine. There's nothing racial about that. You're talking about a football mascot. It's just...
Well,
come on now.
In Baton Rouge, where I went to school at LSU, we yelled tiger bait.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's so much about maybe the gator. It's universal. I think any animal, they yell that for any animal.
I think that the university has to have a discussion with it. I understand they're going way back to the original terms on that and how they feel about it, but I think the community is going to need to get together, and I think that they should have a continuing discussion led by Lawrence Wright to come in there and say, okay, are we... is that connotation? That was something, again, this is something that I learned yesterday when I read the story. Had never heard of the origins of gator bait and didn't know that was a connection.
I've never heard of the origins of gator bait.
So
that's horrific.
Lawrence Wright is saying, look, I did not use, obviously, that story and that connotation when I came up with the chant. If you ain't a gator, you must be gator bait.
Guys, put your head together. That's what that means. They're talking about a gator mascot. It's just one of those things. Well, I mean, I guess it's not just the media doing it. If UF is really seriously thinking about doing it,
they've already done it. They've discontinued it. So it's
I don't agree with that.
As of right now, it's gone. So we'll see if they wind up putting it back together.
I in my heart, I don't feel like when they're saying, you're going to become gator bait. UF, I don't feel like they are doing anything racial with that. I think it's just a ribbing of mascot stuff.
Well, I think right now there is a lot of sweeping movements that are happening as people are really taking a deeper look. And first of all, I would encourage that because there are people that are really learning a lot of things about how there's been a lot of just hush-hush, hidden secret little racial undertones in our society that, and I know coming from the white part of it, that you just weren't really aware of and didn't know that was even a thing. And so it is bringing the discussion out, and it's good that we're having the discussion. And then once we have a calm discussion about all these things. In the education process, the next step is to say, okay, well, what do we do with this moving forward? How does everybody feel? And you have to have a very diverse coalition of people sitting down from that organization to discuss what is the best move.
I think UF is being silly on this.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what they do. These things are coming up, and today is one of those days that we've pointed to, that Juneteenth is something that a lot of people are probably not aware of. There are observances in like 48 of the 50 states, but how many people really know that this is actually the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the U.S.? And it's not the Emancipation Proclamation. It is when the Union soldiers finally got to Galveston, Texas, like 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, where there were still slaves, and said, ain't happening. So that's really when slavery ended in the U.S. And now the push, and that is a great push, to have a national observance for Juneteenth, where it might become a national holiday.
I think it should.
It absolutely should.
Yeah.
I think, and just learning about it and hearing the story, like, how come we didn't know about this before?
Right.
Well, I mean, it's a extraordinarily important day.
Right.
Not only in American history, just in history in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is really something that is great that people are acknowledging this today. And what else do we need to know and acknowledge? Well, a lot of comments coming in talking about Florida Gators announced yesterday that due to racial insensitivity, they are not going to be using the Gator Bait chant anymore. It is something where the band kind of cues the crowds, and then they chant, "If you ain't a Gator, you must be Gator Bait." Lawrence Wright, an African-American player from the mid-'90s, claims that he created the chant and disagrees with the school's decision. And it'll be interesting. I'm sure they are hearing a lot of comments from people and how they feel.
Well, doesn't context matter? I mean, in the context of what they're saying, they're talking about the football game.
Yeah, I to understand it, and what's going on, that's why they need to sit down as a school. I think that with any of these decisions that you make, you need to sit down and you need to have discussions. And I think the context of the area, keep in mind it's in Gainesville, and in that area is Alachua County, not too far away from Gainesville. And from 1877 to 1950, they had the largest sheer volume of lynchings of any community in the nation. And so that has been a racial hotspot for a long time. And Gator Bait was used before the chant came out. In fact, the Gator Bait magazine began in 1980 with the school. And so they're saying that has had connotations going back with racial ties longer than the chant existed. And that is the school's position on it. And so that's why a discussion to learn all these kind of things and talk about it and get people's feelings on it is probably important. Maybe they did that before they came up with that ruling. I don't know. It was just announced yesterday. I'm not sure how in-depth they've gone. I know that people have been very vocal with it. Some people say, well, the fans are going to do the chant anyway. And they might. That's fine. I mean, that's their prerogative. They want to do that. The band is just not going to lead them into it.
If I'm the Lake Park Llamas and I have a stadium and you come into the Lake Park Llama Stadium, guess what you are? You're llama bait.
Mm-hmm. And some people are saying that's what that means. That's what it is.
That is what it means. For that context, that's what that means.
Well,
llama bait, not as intimidating.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
And the other side is arguing that the Gator Bait term has been around longer before that, and a lot of people really kind of understand what it means and what it was supposed to mean originally. That is the context of it. And so that's where the discussion is. And you know what? I'll leave it to the Florida Gators to figure out what they feel best with doing. So that is one of the things that are out there. And there are a lot of people that are, going, wow, okay, it's front and center. And, you're learning things, and hopefully you're just trying to say, okay, hey, look, I understand a lot of people get very defensive about this. And I know that from the white perspective, and I hear it and see it. And, people comment us and whatever. And I get it. It's a lot. And a lot of people just by nature, for the most part, don't like change. And so it throws them for a loop. And so people do get very defensive about all these things that happen. And I would just encourage, take a deep breath first and just listen to what people have to say. Because keep in mind, too, the media is going to be using a lot of these things to get traction. And they're going to try to get clicks and likes and comments and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to put a spin on it that's going to make it seem more, infuriating than
more
maybe,
divisive.
Yes.
The media loves money and dividing people.
Right.
And they do.
Right. So that's why I really encourage the calm discussion to educate yourself fully on what it means. Sit down and hear somebody who has a problem with it and try to see it from their perspective of, why is that term or why is this thing, does it really bother you and to what level? Is it a really big deal that it's something where every time you see it, you shudder and you're like, oh, or is it something where it's like, yeah, I don't love it, but, it's not that big a deal, and to make decisions on what needs to go away and what needs to be changed. Now, this is kind of tough if you are with somebody and you are listening and learning and you're saying, okay, I'm becoming more aware of some things that maybe I did not see before, but you're with somebody that is digging in their heels and is not. We got an email here from somebody that would like to remain anonymous. And in their email, they said, my husband and I grew up in a small town in North Florida and were married right after we graduated high school. There wasn't a lot of diversity in our town, and it was nothing to see rebel flags and to hear lots of racist comments. I never engaged, but I never thought much about it either. It's just what I grew up with. Well, a few years ago, my husband and I moved to South Florida, and for the first time, I really got to see how he reacted to true racial diversity. I never realized in North Florida just how big of a racist my husband is, and now hearing his comments on everything that is going on, it is breaking my heart.
Oh, no.
I love him, and we have kids together, but these last couple of weeks have really changed how I feel about him. I don't blame him for growing up where he did, but I do hold him accountable for the lack of empathy and continuing ignorance he continues to show now. I just don't know how to deal with this. Is anyone else having this problem? I don't think I cannot say anything, but if he won't change, can I continue my marriage to a racist? Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah. That is a tough one.
For me, if you're really with somebody who's a true racist, what I would do, I would never be with a racist. Someone who's truly a racist, because your viewpoints don't align with one another.
But if you love him, can't you maybe be the only one that can change him? Do you give up on him and leave him, or do you just fight him every day and try to make him change and show him how he's wrong?
Well, I would tell people that I think there's an approach to everything, and you probably know your husband better than anybody on this earth, and hopefully he can change. People can change, and they can understand. And like I said, in this discussion, and I've been trying to encourage people, and the first thing that I'll say is whenever you come at somebody with an accusatory tone, that person becomes defensive, and it's hard to have a conversation. Somebody sent us a very well thought out email talking about white privilege, and I'll probably get to this on the After the Show podcast. I know this is a lot right now, but what they had said, and I get it, but when you hit a lot of people with the white privilege, I've noticed that a lot of people recoil and become defensive with that. And it's not saying it doesn't exist. It's not trying to downplay it. It's just trying to say that people, you see the inclination of humanity that you get defensive when somebody comes at you. I think if it's explained calmly and you say, hey, look, there's really a couple different societies here that we have in America. You just were in one. And there was another one. If you help them understand at the end, they may be going, okay, now I get white privilege. But when you throw somebody out, be going, you're white, then immediately like, okay, what is it? They don't fully understand it, and they become defensive. And I've noticed that there's a lot of breakdown and constructive conversation when somebody is hit with something that makes them defensive at first. It's like, hey, be empathetic. Let me take you on a trip to see society through my eyes and what I've had to deal with. And then at the end, you may be like, oh, wow, okay. Never had an idea about that. You're right. I could see why you would feel that way.
But to go back to that woman, if she tries to change her husband's mind and you're not getting through and you try to go down that avenue, I mean, you probably don't belong with him.
Yeah, I would give it time. I would be persistent. I would try to change him. You have children with him. I think some people give up on marriages really quickly and really easily. And if you truly love somebody, then work on them. And then let them know. Be like, hey, this is something that's big for me. I want to see change in you, and I want you to try to see things differently. Because, one, I think the racist part is hateful. I don't want you to be a hateful person. I don't want you to carry around this kind of anger. That's not good for you. It's not good for anybody.
And our children are watching. Your children are learning from how you do things and how you conduct yourself. And this is your chance to teach him to be a better human and let your kids watch you do it.
Because if you just divorced him right now, he's going to continue being a racist, and he's going to probably even double down and try to get that into these kids' heads. If you work with him now and can maybe win him over, you not only save him, but you can save your kids as well from having to hear this stuff.
I was saying if you go full on and you try and nothing changes and you realize it's not going to change, that's what I'm saying. Your souls aren't aligned with each other.
Yeah, but I would go at it. I would try to make it work however you can. And we're going to be sending out an e-blast today from the KVJ show in recognition of Juneteenth. And on it is a lot of stuff that I've been watching and reading and looking at. And I'm telling you, just, what I've learned and been able to take in, it's been pretty amazing the last couple of weeks. And so a lot of that stuff on there is what I've been looking at. It's given me a much greater depth of understanding and perception and empathy with it as well. So if you're not signed up for our e-blast right now, you can just go to kvjshow.com. We got a brand new website. It's beautiful, Virginia. I don't know if you checked it out yet.
I did.
But you can sign up for the e-blast right there, and then it'll be delivered to your inbox later today. It comes out a couple times a week. So all the behind-the-scenes stuff on the KVJ show you can get. Well, today is Friday. We always love the Feel Good Fridays. Hey, we all need a little win, right? If you got something good that's going on, you can let us know. 877-979-WRMF. Somebody already texted us in and said, yeah, my Feel Good Friday is that I've been tobacco-free for over 30 days.
Nice.
Once you reach that month on anything, that is something to celebrate, my friend.
Yeah, and he said all it took was my son told me to stop putting that garbage in my mouth.
Aw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your kids can have a big effect on you. So, you got anything else positive you'd like to share? You can let us know. Love to hear it. 877-979-WRMF. Yeah, there's a lot of good songs that are out there that I always kind of listen to this weekend. Country music does it best, Virginia. They got songs like Boy and things like that you listen to. And there's one that's called, that I always listen to. It's really, you want to talk about a check. It's called He's Watching You, and it's always about your kid, how he's emulating everything you do. And it's like, gosh, man, okay. Got to keep in check.
Father's Day kind of speaking to your need to be a better dad.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, there's touching. There's all across the spectrum. I have put together a little playlist for you because I kind of usually delve into that because you're like going, okay, all right, this is a two-way street. It's not just about people, showering love on you about how great you are. Sometimes Father's Day is good for dads to reflect and think, okay, are you doing as well as you can, and maybe what's some things you can do a little bit better?
You want something to kick you right in the feels? I'll tell you something. There's a Chet Atkins song. It's old, sad country. And it's called I Still Can't Say Goodbye. And he's talking about how he's missing his dad, and he just wants to say goodbye to him, but he can't because he passed on.
Oh, my goodness.
He talks about how he tried on his dad's jacket when he was a kid and his hat, and he looks in the mirror, and now he sees his dad looking back at him.
Oh, my
Chet
goodness.
Atkins, if you're looking for a good cry, boom, Google it.
Wow. I thought this is really cool. We got an email from Toby. He said, I remember writing you guys a few years ago. I reached out to you guys about finding my father. And I remember and appreciate the help that you offered in finding him.
Aww.
Unfortunately, it was unsuccessful, but I wanted to let you know that I was able to locate him later. And a year and a half ago for Christmas, a friend of mine bought me the Ancestry.com DNA kit that I submitted, and a few months later, looking through my results, I discovered I had a sister and reached out to her.
No way.
Fortunately for me, she had been spending the last several years of her life also searching for our father and gathering as much information as she could about him. I learned far more than the answers I was looking for, and I'm so fortunate to find so much more than just my father. Thanks again for your consideration while I was looking for help. I just wanted to share that the story had a happy ending.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That is some really cool stuff. So I'd love to hear all that.
Yeah, you found your dad and you found your sister. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a nice little Father's Day story there. But sometimes things aren't always totally rosy. There are some dads that are kind of bad, and Shaber brought up one that's probably not the best dad because he tried to kill his kid on multiple accounts.
He did.
I believe he chopped his hand off.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, hey, so if you feel guilty as a father, just look at what Darth did to Luke.
Imagine your dad cutting your hand off, Virginia.
That's horrifying.
And his only goal in life was to make his son evil. I mean, you just think about that is a bad role model. His only goal was to make his son evil.
Did his son ever become evil?
No, Virginia. He will not join them.
I don't know.
By the way, plot spoiler.
Yeah, I know.
Jaber just ruined Star Wars.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. He's not the father. Never mind.
Rap.com had a list of the worst fathers on film. You could also throw TV in there. And if you had to rank them and make an argument, from what I've seen so far, I'm only halfway through season 1, but Frank Gallagher on Shameless.
He is definitely up there.
If you've never seen the show, it is now on Netflix, Virginia, so you could watch Shameless.
Okay.
I mean, it's a great show, and he does a great job acting it out. But if this is a real-life father, he would I think, rank number one above everybody else that I've seen.
I don't know, man.
On this list.
There's some pretty bad dads out there. He's not worse than Darth Vader.
Okay, you're right. That's why I led with Darth Vader. I think Darth Vader's number one. You're right. If your whole goal is turning your son evil and you've chopped off his hand and you're trying to kill him all the time, I think Darth Vader is number one. I would put right now Frank Gallagher probably at number two.
Danny DeVito's character from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Frank.
Okay.
He's a terrible father.
Okay. Frank Reynolds. I'm not familiar with that. That's
You
why
would
I
like
ranked
that show, Kev.
I
You need to
know.
delve into that one.
It's on my list. I'm right now trying to get through Shameless and Curb Your Enthusiasm, and
It's very politically incorrect.
yeah, one that was on the list of a show that I saw. George Bluth from Arrested Development. He was the dad on that.
Terrible father.
He was not a good father. Yes, but I don't know if he's the worst. He's not worse than Al Bundy or Homer Simpson, is he?
I never really got into The Simpsons. Weren't you the Simpson head, Virginia?
I love The Simpsons. I think Homer's awesome.
Is he a terrible dad?
He's not great.
I think he was worse than Al Bundy, wasn't he?
Al Bundy's not great either.
He's not great, but I think that Homer Simpson's a worse dad than Al Bundy.
I agree, yeah.
Okay. And I think, George Bluth is maybe in between those two.
They need to have that one, the one movie. It's called This Boy's Life. It's with Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's where that term comes from. Dry gulch. I got. He plays the meanest dad ever, and it's a great movie. Kind of a heavy movie. Great acting, and Robert De Niro talks like this. I'll dry gulch you. I'll dry gulch you. And he's such a mean SOB, but he needs to be on that list for worst dads ever.
Somebody said Tywin Lannister, Game of Thrones. That was the dad that took a crossbow on the toilet.
Oh, spoiler! Let's talk about spoiler alert.
Oh, you're right. That is a big spoiler alert.
That is actually a spoiler alert.
Sorry, he's going to get it.
Kev was kidding.
Everybody dies in that, though. Everybody.
Jeez, Kev.
Everybody dies. Watch Game of Thrones. Everybody dies. Somebody said Dr. Evil. Remember that? He was a terrible father. Poor Scott.
He was.
But he was a good father to Mini-Me.
That's right. Oddly enough, it was. His clone. He was very good, too. Let me see. Other terrible fathers. You can let us know. 877-979-WRMF. Somebody said, yeah, I agree that Homer's worse than Al Bundy. He was always choking Bart.
Yeah, you can't choke your kid, at least not with witnesses.
What about Peter Griffith from Family Guy?
Somebody's recommended him in the chat room. I haven't watched that show enough to say. And somebody else said Stan Smith from American Dad is worse than Homer.
I've never watched American Dad. I have watched Family Guy, though. He's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, there you go. If you got a suggestion for the worst dad, is there one that is worse than what we've already brought up?
Anybody back me up on that Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
Not one.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, some crazy headlines about the coronavirus yesterday, and actually, you could say for the last 3 days, and maybe even the last couple of weeks, depending upon how far back you want to go. But yesterday's number of 3,207 new coronavirus cases got a lot of people's attention because that is a new record. Yeah, you're right. I don't know how to react after you, because normally you're just like, yeah, you say
We're
something
winning.
like that. And
We're making the national news.
Yeah, no, the headline is about, Florida is the new hotspot, the epicenter, whatever you want to call it.
I was getting calls from people from Texas, from Rhode Island, all over. So you better not be going out. What are you doing? What's going on with Florida? Why are you guys messing everything up again?
Yeah.
How does this news affect your possible date this weekend you were supposed to go on?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I
got to put that thing on hold, my friend.
Possibly put on hold. I'm not feeling well either. My mouth is still just, I'm kind of out of it still from my wisdom tooth. It takes sometimes 2 to 3 weeks to
oh, yeah. What do the dentists say?
Everything's healing fine. They just said that it takes some people to heal a while, and I've just been kind of out of it, man. It's been a struggle. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, on top of everything else, you got to deal with wisdom tooth.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to get out of it. I'm just not sure if it's gonna happen this weekend.
It's hard to lay down the romance when your mouth is throbbing.
It's gonna be stupid. So I haven't even set anything up. So I don't have to tell you, Virginia.
But the coronavirus is going to affect a lot of people's plans, I assume, for this weekend. If maybe you're like, hey, we're going to go run around. Maybe you're not going to go run around. I don't know. The last 3 days rank in the top 3 since the pandemic began. And the stat that stood out to me is that now the positive testing rate in the state of Florida is 12.5%. Just a month ago, it was 3.5% of all tests were positive. And I know they'd had that mark at 10%. Anything over that, you really need to shut it all down. And I don't think we're going to go back to shutting stuff down. But personally, you might say, okay, we are above the number that they would recommend to basically do anything. So
to do anything?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's kind of crazy because you look at some of this stuff and again, it is about your own personal decisions, what you have to make, and it's what your own situation is. Do you have somebody with those pre-existing conditions that are around you or somebody that's over the age of 65? Because that really is it. 85% of the deaths have been among those over the age of 65. 85%. And 51% of the coronavirus deaths have been residents and staff members of long-term care facilities on top of it. So that really, you could narrow it down to that being the issue. So do you have one of those two conditions in your home or in your immediate circle? If you do, then you need to, probably live differently than somebody who's just 22 and I'm living my best life and I'm going to the Ave this weekend.
The Ave.
Yeah, somebody texted in and said, yeah, my daughter's 23 and she was exposed to COVID. She got tested to be safe and it came back positive, but she has no symptoms besides a slight sore throat and stuffy nose. And that's what's scary about this virus. So, be careful and wear your mask. If her daughter was wearing her mask, she wouldn't be spread it to other people who might spread to somebody. It's all about keeping it away from somebody who eventually could be seriously harmed by the coronavirus. That's really what it's about, and that's why you got the mask thing. And I know people are fighting about it, and they're getting kicked off planes and throwing chingas in restaurants because what mask?
I got busted because I forgot my mask in my truck this morning, so I went down real early to go get it. I tried to sneak out, and I run into the building manager. He sees me without the mask, and I'm like, oh! So then that's me coming down. I come back, I'm coming back up, and my mask falls off my face. And as it falls off my face, I catch it, and then the elevator opens, and it's the building manager again. So he saw me go up, he saw me go down, and never had a mask on.
You're just flaunting it.
Holding it is not the proper way to wear your mask, sir.
You may get an email later, Kevin.
Okay, I expected so. So California has jumped out and they've ordered all residents to wear masks at nearly all times outside the home. So nearly all times have your mask on, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. I know that in Broward and Miami-Dade, you're supposed to. Palm Beach County, the commissioners are going to vote on it on Tuesday, and maybe make it mandatory that if you want to get any kind of business or anything, you're going to have a mask. And the Florida Keys just jumped up, and they're now going to require everyone, including employees and customers, to wear face coverings in any establishment, or you'll face a $500 fine.
All the places that we went into, they all have signs that say you must wear a mask. You must wear a mask. And most of, well, I didn't go indoors anywhere, but most of the places that I saw people going in, they were wearing masks. But then you have a place like, Robbie's down there. And if you know the area, it's like a place where you go, you stand on the dock and you feed the tarpon. And it's a big tourist destination.
My daughter is heading down there today.
They could not have had more people on this dock feeding the tarpon, all up on each other. Nobody was wearing a mask. I'm like, guys, just because you're outside, you're still on top of each other.
Yep.
You're not doing it right.
During these crazy times, there's always some good that can come out of it. I would love to try to come up with an invention. Tell me if you like this. The mask muncher. The mask muncher. Somehow you're able to keep the mask on and still be able to eat food in public. I'm not sure exactly how you would do it.
You are turning into your dad.
You're right, yeah. But the mask muncher could work if you could figure out how you could keep your face covered and still get the food through maybe like a hole or a tube.
Well, if you can do that, tell Spider-Man, because he's had an issue with that for years.
The mask muncher, are you buying?
Sure.
All right, thanks.
Create the product, then come back and show me.
Okay.
We love the concept. We also love the passion.
On paper, I think all right, cool.
In the Keys, They are going to have this ordinance until June 1st of 2021.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what got my attention, too. I'm like, whoa, we were talking 367 days.
They are not playing.
Oh, no, wait. Sorry, my math was terrible on that. It's already June. Jeez, it's already June? That's right. My birthday's on Sunday. Gosh. What is going on with time? So June 1st, 2021.
Do you really want to go down that question?
No, I
What's
don't.
going on with time? Well, we can talk about that.
I somehow mentally jumped back to May. I don't know what happened. All right, well, here I am now in the present. Yeah, so they say there's going to be some exceptions, including for those eating and drinking in a restaurant and a bar, as well as while exercising in a gym, as long as a 6-foot social distance is maintained. They say also children ages 6 and younger are not required to wear a mask. And your coverings, what will qualify as a mask in the keys, face masks, homemade masks, other cloth, silk, or linen coverings like scarves, bandanas, or handkerchiefs. But until June 1st of next year, you're going to have to do that in the Keys. And I think it's going to, because it was like Key West was already there. They had a stricter ruling in place. But, the Keys has a lot of other relaxed areas, probably like even the area where you were. And this is like now making a mandatory for all the Keys, jumping on it. So.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah, I need to let my daughter know because she's 22 and she's living her best life. And she, I think sometimes goes places without masks. And so I would hate for her to drive all the way into the Keys and then be like,
I didn't bring a mask.
I don't have a mask. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Where in the Keys is she going? Did she tell you?
I think she's going Key Largo at least, but I know she loves going to Robbie's. So she's a big fan of that. So I don't know if she's going to go all the way there or not.
Robbie's was completely open. We didn't sit, but there was people sitting and eating. The kayak place where we rented kayaks from was kind of like on the edge of Robbie's.
Okay.
So we kind of had to walk through it to get to the kayak thing.
Okay.
And I was literally like having almost a panic attack because I didn't bring my mask. I didn't think to bring my mask to kayak like a dummy, but I wish I would have because there was people all over that place.
Mm-hmm. Does this play with the mask muncher? Somehow the mask becomes edible. You eat the mask,
but then you'll be infected.
Well, no, you
expose yourself.
It's when you leave. You leave as soon as you get in your car. You eat the mask. All right, shut up about the mask puncher. All right,
you're on pain meds, right?
No, I'm off of
If the corona's on the outside of your mask, then you eat it. Then you make sure you get it.
Okay, we call this the drawing board, y'all. My bad.
Somebody said with your mask muncher, all you need is to make a little flap around your lips so you can open a Velcro back down when you do that.
Glad somebody took me seriously.
Yeah, they did. Somebody.
They're high, though.
Somewhere. Yeah, they're definitely.
I'll take it, man. That's fine.
Uh-huh. All right, coming up here in a couple minutes, going to be delving into some misconnections, some bizarre writings we have for you on the way in minutes here at the KVJ Show.
KVJ in the morning on 97.9 WRMF. Kevin.
Oh, no.
Virginia.
Bavarian's better, dog.
Jason.
I think you're wrong, Virginia.
Listen to the KVJ Show anytime you want on your home speaker. Just use the voice command, play the KVJ Show podcast. 97.9 WRMF.
Got some interesting write-ups here on our misconnections today. People still looking for love. It's not just Jaybird over here flipping a quarter. Somebody said, and they posted, somebody sent us on social media, it says, I'll be your COVID-19 hoe. Okay.
Let's get into it.
Is this the time? I don't know.
I don't know.
Doesn't feel like the right tone to have possibly here. This is a female looking for fearless men. I mean, already you got to be bold to hit somebody up in the misconnections, but especially with the cases we got in Florida.
Is she looking for a Marine?
I don't know.
There are men out there that will take her up on it.
You are right. No, she's right.
Okay, well, this person writes in the misconnections, I'm horny, plus size, and straight up, I don't give an F. I tested positive for COVID-19 a month ago. I know I have the antibodies, so you can't catch it from me. I'm also looking to get laid with one of you adventurous hipsters. I like my men with big beards and bony asses. That's a pretty good description of big beards and bony asses.
It's a combo I didn't expect.
Hey, we all have a type.
Oh, that's her type, I guess. I'm a former cam girl, and I'm feeling like I need some attention. I want to be your COVID-19 hoe, y'all. You don't have to wear a mask or a condom. I'm that kind of girl. Wow. I mean, this is really just...
What kind of girl is that?
This is a suicide mission here.
She's looking for, what was it, brave men or adventurous men?
Female looking for fearless men.
Fearless
You
men.
would have to be fearless. I mean, you're going to, what, don't even wear a face mask. Yeah, whatever, everything. Let's just throw it. Let's leave it all at home. I promise I'm clean. If I like you, I promise you won't know what hit you. Have you ever had a sponge bath while having hot candle wax poured on your special area? Well, I'm the COVID hoe that you've dreamed of. Okay, all my fearless men, let's get to some playing and slaying.
You are on point. You could tell it's your weekend. You could tell it's Father's Day.
Yes.
You could tell it's your birthday because
Yeah.
you're in the pocket.
Yes, thank you.
Never sounded better.
Yes.
I kind of like that voice you were doing. Kind of like you're giving me the vapors.
Oh, you get it, yeah.
Big boy.
I noticed you like that voice, so I'm bringing it back for you.
I do like
kinda
that
get you going.
voice.
Yeah, kind of get you going.
It's nice to have something sexy around here.
This might have the opposite effect. This is a male seeking a female, and he says, you were missing your dentures.
Oh.
Okay. It says here, you gave me the best round of mouth love I've ever encountered. This happened underneath the Singer Island Bridge a few months back before COVID-19 was even a thing. We both got drunk in the CVS parking lot. We smoked some weed laced with PCP.
Oh my God.
It was complete sexual madness. You told me your name was Monica and you had no teeth. You mentioned to me that some homeless man stole your dentures.
Dang.
Dang.
That's a rough go.
I didn't care because my teeth are awful too. I'm just living in a halfway house near Palm Beach Gardens. Look, not gonna lie, I got struggles. But I can see you got your struggles too, and so maybe you know what? We can struggle together.
It's kind of romantic.
We all got to connect in a different
Yeah,
way.
it's kind of romantic.
There's
Yeah.
a seat for every butt.
Yes, they're like in the struggle Uber sitting in the back seat. You left without saying goodbye, and I can't stop thinking about you. Are you still out there, Monica? If so, let me know.
Monica, I feel like he has love in his heart.
He does, just no teeth in her mouth.
That is, you think you have it bad? Imagine having dentures and someone steals
That's what I
them.
was telling you. You know, honestly, the gratitude thing is big. If you got all your teeth today, be thankful.
I mean,
if you're not sleeping under a bridge, be thankful.
I mean, if that really happened, imagine going through that process.
It's tough. It's tough. Some people actually, believe it or not, do have it tougher than you do.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, it wasn't actually a physical fight with the homeless guy for the teeth. Hopefully, he took them while you didn't notice.
Yeah, I feel like she was sleeping,
Yeah.
taking a nap.
I feel like she was taking a nap.
You know, yeah.
And
sleeping
he
off
took
the
'em.
hooch.
Yeah. You hope.
You hope. Probably not, but you hope.
It's heavy.
This is a male seeking a male. Okay. It says, I loved your bulge. Okay. OMG, I can't get it out of my mind. I close my eyes and I see it. I walk down the street and I see it. I see it everywhere. And I'm talking about your beautiful bulge. I saw it as you're walking down the shampoo aisle at a Walmart. And the thing that was awe-inspiring was just the way you carried yourself. Your denim jean shirts made my heart flutter. See, I'm kind of a bulge connoisseur, and let me just say this. You got the goods, my friend. What it will take for me to see that bulge up close and personal, I want to know. Now, I'm a married man, but I love a little man love on the side. My wife gets so boring. Sometimes I need a roughneck like yourself to keep my horny ass in line, if you catch my drift. I was the guy wearing the New York Knicks jersey, screwing you from the deli area. Did you notice? Your bulge has taken over my brain, and I am going crazy waiting in anticipation.
Yeah, no, this is one of your better days.
Okay.
How sad would she be when she finds out that he's stuffed?
Oh. You think so?
Well, I think it's a dude.
Oh, dude on dude.
Yeah, he
It's
said.
dude on dude.
But what
yeah.
if you're watching the bulge and then you realize, oh, they stuffed. It's a sock.
That's why I don't believe in the fake butt.
Does that happen often? I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I would
Does?
never do
I've
it.
seen it happen at photo shoots where, like, if it's guys doing like bathing suit photo shoots, they stuff.
Well, it's a photo shoot. I'm just wondering if anybody has ever run into that guy or girl into a fake bulge where you're like going, oh my goodness, okay, you were faking that.
I just don't agree with it. I feel like if I got a bulge down there and then you see it and now you're all expecting this bulge when we get down to the nitty gritty and it's not there, then what? The lie blows up in your pants.
Well, you're not thinking that far ahead.
You got to, man. You got to think about it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'd like to find out if anybody's got anything on that. You can let us know your story. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763 here at the KVJ Show.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. Huh. So many people on meth. Ow!
Another interesting story here about the Florida Keys. They're planning to unleash a wave of genetically modified mosquitoes to try to stop real mosquitoes from spreading diseases.
Okay, wait a minute now. Will these genetically modified mosquitoes try to bite humans or no?
This is the beginning of the movie.
This is
sounds like the
terrible.
beginning of a really bad B movie, doesn't it?
does.
A genetically modified mosquito is out there to take out the bad mosquitoes, and then people in the Keys start mutating.
And at some point, the real mosquitoes actually join up with the fake ones and they turn on
They were
us.
dealing with double trouble.
Double trouble.
Yeah. What could go wrong, they
Do
said.
the new ones still want to eat people?
Great question.
There are a lot of questions here. I'm just kind of curious.
Oh, my.
Yeah, things get a little bit goofy in the Keys. So there you go. Just something else to consider.
With all this standing water we've got everywhere right
Yeah.
now, like, don't we have enough mosquito problems? Let's release new mosquitoes. It doesn't sound right.
I'm going to be really annoyed if all of a sudden we have to worry about fake mosquitoes.
Yeah. These mosquitoes, too, I just got to tell you, like, I don't know what it is. They love me. I am a mosquito magnet, and I right now probably have no less than 4 mosquito bites around my ankles because I am wearing full coverings the entire day. I need to get longer socks because they're finding my only vulnerability. The entire day, I sit and I work in this one office by myself, and my wife, she's in the kitchen. She's working, but she can see me. I don't know where this thing is coming from. There's this one sole mosquito that just keeps flying around. But keep in mind, I'm a good 50 to 60 feet away from her. And all she can see is she looks in there and I'm swatting at this thing in midair and karate chopping. And I see her kind of like looking at me, and I'm just in there flailing madly around. She's thinking I'm completely going marbles, but these mosquitoes make you crazy, Virginia.
I know.
I look insane in there.
I do the same thing. If there's a mosquito in my house, I could be dead asleep.
And then I'm awkward clapping in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah,
It makes me lose my mind.
they do, and they always get you in your sleep. You're right.
I hate it.
Well, they say 4 workers who were infected with COVID-19 have filed a public nuisance lawsuit against a McDonald's franchise in Oakland, California. The workers said McDonald's told them to use doggy diapers or coffee filters for face masks. Now, eventually, apparently, they were given masks meant for one-time use only, but they were told to use them day after day after day. And as a result, 25 coronavirus infections have been linked to the restaurant, including a worker's 10-month-old baby.
Oh, my.
Now, the owner of the franchise is denying these terrible allegations and saying that he bought thousands of masks for the employees. He doesn't know where this is coming from.
If you're telling your people to put a coffee filter on their face
Or a dog diaper.
or a dog diaper.
I mean, coffee filter, okay. Dog diaper? What? And it's used?
That's messed up.
That's really messed up. Got some crazy animal news here today. There's a drunk monkey in India who has bitten more than 250 people in his quest for alcohol.
Blame it on the alcohol.
It is a raging alcoholic monkey that is just running amok.
Dang.
Yes, it actually killed one person in the
Whoa.
attack.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
We got to take out this monkey, y'all.
Well, they have actually given him life in prison. They say that the monkey is now going to be spending the rest of its life in captivity.
Oh, it's going to end up getting some tats. It's going to end up...
Well, it needs to get a teardrop, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
This monkey can't be allowed to ever roam again.
And if it's in prison, there's no way that monkey doesn't take up smoking.
Well, and if he's an alcoholic, he needs rehab. And do you think it'd be weird if you walk into your rehab and there's a monkey sitting in your meeting? And...
I can't be a part of this rehab. You immediately collect your things and leave.
I think I would like that.
You want to go? Yeah, my name's Kevin. I'm an alcoholic. And you? Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for sharing your
Yeah,
story.
thank you. That's emotional. What? There's a 19-year-old woman in California that was attacked by a bear while she was sleeping in a chair in her backyard. I guess I should stop complaining about mosquitoes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And despite her age, she was able to fight off the bear with her laptop.
I think we have a little audio of it. I think we do.
Wow.
Can you imagine you're just peacefully sleeping in the yard, enjoying the day, and you get woken up by a bear trying to eat you?
That would be absolutely insane.
You poo yourself immediately.
Yeah.
Do we have it in there?
I don't see that. I do see a guy trying to reason with the bear stealing from a bird feeder.
Okay. I knew it was a bear story. It's different
Okay.
than yours.
It's barely right.
Oh. Well, now I want to hear.
It's gonna tear it off the tree. No.
Don't be a hero.
It's not. Stop it right now. No. Stop it down, bear. No.
No.
No. No.
Have you ever rooted for a bear before?
Are they talking to a bear like it's the family
They're
dog?
talking to the bear like it's a family
I don't know
dog.
if you got any odds in this or if you got a fan favorite, but I do.
Have you ever
Oh.
cheered for the bear?
Please eat these guys.
Down, bear. Bear. Down. You're gonna break it off. Are you spying down?
Oh, buddy.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Those laughs could turn to tears real quick.
The bear is like going, please.
I don't respond to this.
No.
I'm going to eat the bird feeder and then I'm going to come eat you.
I'm not the family dog.
Yeah. Who you talking to like that?
There's a positive animal story. Once upon a time in the 1960s, there was just 2 male and 12 female giant tortoises left in the wild. So they decided to start an intense tortoise breeding program that resulted in 2,000 offspring, with about 800 of those coming from Diego, a 100-year-old tortoise with a legendary libido.
Well, Diego lays it down.
I mean, how amazing is that?
He's
huh?
100 and he's still rocking that shell?
Wow. Like in a big way.
Good for you,
Good
Diego.
for you.
That is
Get it.
really amazing,
Oh,
huh?
he's a Latin lover.
I wonder if they make good lovers. No, I mean, I meant, never mind.
You want to ride that tortoise?
No, that's not what I meant.
Yeah? That's Diego getting it on. Diego.
Depending on where you touch me, I might make that same sound.
Yeah. We can play a fun game, Diego or Bird. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
Surprise! We put hidden audio in your room and we have audio of you touching yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we've matched it up with Diego.
I don't know if I make those kind of moans when I'm by myself. Oh, Javer, you touch yourself great.
Bird? Bird, that you?
I don't even know anymore, Virginia.
Yeah, do you make noises? I'm very curious.
Not when you're by yourself. Minimal.
Okay.
Minimal.
You're silent.
Maybe a small grunt here and there.
Maybe a small. Oh, yeah, that's the way I like
Nothing
it.
during the final quiver.
Oh, you know how to do it.
Oh, you like that bird?
You like that?
It's just a sigh. Jeez. Let me see here. Hey, you brought this up yesterday, Jay Bird. An Alaskan father and son fishing on a river found a message in a bottle that traveled 50 miles in 13 years.
I love it.
Yeah, it was written by two young girls named Amy and Angela. They talked about their current crushes and celebrated their friendship in their note. Now, the guy actually tried the number they attached, and apparently it went to a recorded message saying the line was no longer in service.
I am going to write on behalf of the KVJ show and throw it out in the ocean in a nice glass bottle.
Yeah, you're going to look for a little bit of love. Maybe talk about, like what these girls did. You could talk about your current crushes, and maybe you and Denny's could celebrate your friendship in there.
Make sure you do it during one of our beach cleanups. You jackal.
No.
Hey, wait, we're just trying
Aren't
to
we
clean
like
this
the
beach.
show that does all these beach cleanups? And now we're throwing litter.
Bro, if you have a message in the glass bottle, fish know it. They don't try to eat it.
You know what? I'm going to write my message on a tire.
Tarpons see that. They're like, oh, man, it's a message. I'm not going to eat that. There's a message to be had. They know. It's not littering when there's a message.
We have much to learn around here.
There's not littering with a message.
Yes, we do.
This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
Well, coming up here, we can do another round of Producer Denny's Knows When You're High. We need people who are either high right now or are not high. Anybody can play this. You just call us up, 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. It's really that simple. And then Denny's will come in here and he'll ask you a couple thought-provoking questions. And then you just basically go on ahead and sit back, and Denny's will let you know if you're high or not.
We believe in his skills.
Oh,
he can just zone right in through the phone line, and I think he's like close to 90% accuracy.
He'll take you on an adventure.
I'd say higher than that. I think he's about 98. I'm not even playing, Virginia.
Oh, he is
He's
higher
good.
than that.
He is real good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got a couple of stoner-like questions here for you. Which is better? Lay's potato chips or Ruffles potato chips?
Lay's potato chips.
Ruffles.
You're out of your mind.
I like it thick.
No, Lay's potato chips, they have better salt on them. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
They're too flimsy. You can't dip with them. And what are we doing if we're not here to dip?
You can dip with them. Virginia, once again, is speaking out of turn. Her Tequesta asks, when's the last time you had a potato chip? Step off.
I have potato chips all the time.
You do not.
I do. I love potato chips. I just had Ruffles the other day. I swear on Rocco's life.
You're a PCP. You're a potato chip poser.
I'm not. I just had them the other day.
Yeah.
You can look in my trash. Empty Ruffles bag.
It's a tough debate. I would say it's on preference. And sometimes I feel like the salt and vinegar Lay's, I think the really thin ones, they work well with the texture. I'm a big fan of those. Or I like the Ruffles. And there was a one when I was a kid. It was called O'Grady's, I think was the name of it. It's a super thick chip, and they had O'Grady's au gratin.
You also have the kettle chip that's very thick.
It is.
But again, I think it lacks the salt that you desire and deserve.
I'd lean Lay's. I'd lean Lay's with you.
Lay's
Yeah.
is we call that redneck lettuce. You put that on your sub,
I'm
and
all
it's
about rednecks.
delicious.
Yeah. Okay, what about this? Which is better, Captain Crunch or Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Which
Oh.
crunch?
Captain Crunch.
Oh,
Yeah.
baby. Well, we got to break this down for a second. Captain Crunch may be the... Sorry,
You're all choked
get a little
up.
emotional here. Captain Crunch may be the best in the moment, but the aftermilk for Cinnamon Toast Crunch is something you really got to think about.
It is good, but I will, if you will, give me peanut butter Captain Crunch for this, not the regular, because I prefer the peanut butter.
Me too.
And that gives you better milk than the regular Captain Crunch.
Peanut butter Captain Crunch is the best. Regular Captain Crunch kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I am going to go... Captain Crunch with berries is my favorite, but the question was regular Captain Crunch.
But I'll give you pick your Captain Crunch.
All right, then I go Captain Crunch with berries. Barely beats out CTC.
And I go peanut butter Captain Crunch beats out CTC as well.
Yeah, peanut butter all the way.
Sprite or 7-Up? This was
Sprite.
a big debate because my Granny Beulah, she used to always have one or the other in her fridge.
Sprite is way better. 7-Up just tastes like crappy 7-Up. Or
I agree. Sprite is
Sprite.
it's not even close. I couldn't even figure out why Sprite was so much better.
I feel like 7-Up is less sugary. I like 7-Up.
7-Up, and I know it's gonna sound weird. It makes it almost tastes like grandma or an old person, like a really old person.
Grandma, let me taste you.
Stop licking grandma.
It's for a radio experiment.
Yeah, I'm going Sprite.
Me too. Don't even think it's close. We'll put that up on the KVJ Show Twitter, and you guys can go up there and put your favorites out of those. Do you have a couple people to play along here? Producer Denny's knows when you're high. All right, we got Amanda on here from Jupiter. Starts all off. Hello, Amanda.
Hi.
How is your Friday going so far?
It's going good.
Okay, good.
Ready for service.
Okay. All right, she's ready for it. Okay.
Oh, Friday's the best.
All right, well, then he's got a couple of thought-provoking questions here for you, and then he's going to try to, well, not try to, he's going to tell you if you are high or not. Denny's, what is your first question here for Amanda?
All right. Amanda, let's see here. Amanda, what do you think would make you run faster, goat legs or rollerblade feet?
Ooh.
Goat legs or rollerblades?
Mm-hmm.
Goat legs. I feel like I could, jump and leap further. Rollerblades, I'm not very good on.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're right.
Nice.
That could be a skill-based question.
Balance.
I agree with you, Amanda.
Yeah.
I think that the rollerblades, if you can use rollerblades. Otherwise,
Really?
yes, I do. I think that, if you could find me somebody with goat legs, then I will take them on rollerblades.
Gosh,
and I'll beat
You'd
them.
rather run away from an alligator with goat legs than with rollerblades than goat legs.
Well, am I on concrete? Because if I'm like right on the edge of a marshy swamp, yes, I don't think rollerblades will fare well.
Yeah.
Fair question.
Yeah.
Goat legs would work on every surface.
Yeah, goat legs for the win, Kev. Sorry.
Not water.
You're right. You're right.
Neither would rollerblades.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I got you. Okay, all right, it's getting contentious. Let's
Yes.
move on.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let's keep it friendly, guys.
Same team.
Yeah.
The second question for you. How many puppies until you consider it a puppy party? What do you think's the minimum amount of puppies for a puppy party to be?
Yes.
I think four puppies.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
4 or more puppies
Four
constitutes a party.
Kind of like a puppy gathering, though. What do you think? Like a party would be 10 or more? Just
No,
throwing it out
that's more
there.
of that's a soiree.
All right.
Yeah.
I wondered if you look at it different and just because they're puppies, is 4 like 10 humans?
Oh, good call.
Yeah, does it do like what with human years? Like, is one person at the gathering, one puppy, like 7?
Yes, that's a great question.
It is. You're right.
I don't even know the answer on this one.
Kevin, are you high?
Yeah, I am.
It's birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Kevin.
There's some in that cake you gave me, Virginia.
It smells great.
It's certainly not taste.
It smells good, tastes horrible. Keto cake, don't make it. It's disgusting.
I mean, it's really angering me.
Jaybird, you got to try it. It's that gross.
I love when people do that. Hey, this is gross. Try it.
Final question for you here, Amanda. Would you rather have the power of controlling all the raccoons in the world or all the crabs in the world?
Oh. Probably crabs. I don't know why. I guess you could make money off of catching crabs. I don't know if you can make money off of catching raccoons, so I guess crabs.
That's a good point.
It's not, though.
You could be a crab fisherman and make just bank.
Well,
nobody eats coon
Yeah,
meat.
I've been super into Deadliest Catch recently, so that's the reason for that.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
right. It's a big market. Those
Yeah.
king crabs sell for a lot.
But hold on, what's the question though? The question was you can make them do whatever they want.
Yeah, control them.
Dude, you can make the raccoons sing karaoke. You can make them do whatever you want.
yeah.
You absolutely could do more with raccoons. Come on, guys.
So you bring them on the stage like a vaudeville?
That's just one of many possibilities. Respect the game, Virginia.
Use them for crime. You can break into
Yes.
people's houses.
I just like to eat crab. Maybe I'm just blinded by my love of crab.
If you can make them do whatever you want, you could have a whole masseuse area with raccoons massaging you.
Fascinating.
I don't know. They got some sharp talons.
Some people like it rough.
I gotta tell you, it's tough to guess who in this room or on the phone is high.
I'm guessing everyone's high.
Yeah. Denny's, what do you think about specifically here with Amanda? Is she high?
I am getting a high vibe from Amanda. She's having a little bit too much fun with this one, I think.
Amanda, are you high?
Yes.
Denny's knows. He's so good.
And do you want to hang out this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice, Amanda. Enjoy your weekend, okay?
right, thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. Denny's 1 for 1.
When they're fun like that, makes it easier. It's when
Yeah.
people are monosyllabic. It's very tricky.
She was cute.
We got Karen here from Port St. Lucie. Hello, Karen.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I am great.
Good. I have to ask you, are you bombarded now with all the Karen comments, or do people leave you alone?
So bombarded. I say we switch it to Susan's. I don't like Susan's.
Karen's got to have somebody. Karen wants Susan. Okay. Don't be a Susan.
I'm fine.
Okay, Danny's got a couple questions here for you. He's going to guess if our Karen is high or not.
All right, first
right.
question. Sorry.
Great chemistry.
Yeah, jeez. First question for you, Karen. When you were single or back in the day or even currently, if you could ride anything to a first date, what do you consider to be the most impressive? So like
Impressive. Well, maybe that I shouldn't say that.
Karen!
I'm sorry. I went a whole nother direction with that. I'm so sorry.
fine.
I'm going to say a nice big fat Harley.
Oh.
ooh, a Harley.
Harley.
See, I'd ride a lion in.
Okay.
That's not cool. Lion,
A
Danny.
lion, that's cool.
But the
Yeah,
lion
for
wants it.
you.
A lot to hang on to a lion.
Yeah, why gotta be so abusive towards lions, Danny?
I just think it's an impressive thing to roll up with. Let's see here. Karen, second question. Which aisle at the grocery store do you feel the most powerful in?
God.
That was for birds.
Oh, the meat section for sure.
Meat.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Frozen pizza.
Right, Virginia? Virginia, am I right?
Yes. Me, you, and the lion. We love the meat aisle.
Rawr.
And final question for you. Aside from the mouth, what do you think is the next best place that you'd have to eat from?
Okay.
I
Oh,
mean,
my Lord. I'm an old lady here. Hang on.
it's pretty easy.
The ear.
To eat from,
Yeah.
I'll say the top of your belly. I don't know.
Ooh, belly button. That'd be a good spot.
Interesting. Okay.
What about the butt, right?
I mean, that's the obvious choice.
You love butt stuff, so always
I'm
gotta
just saying.
bring it up.
Would that be gross or would that be easy?
I think that'd be easy, right? You
You'd
just
go butt,
sit
too.
down on it.
You go butt.
I would.
But
It would wreck a lot of your options.
Like hot dogs, yes. Hamburgers, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your options change a little.
Yeah.
okay, figure me out quick. I gotta go to work.
Okay, what do you think? Is she
What
high
is
or
she?
not?
Is she high?
She's a tricky one.
Well, she's going to go to work, so let's hope not.
Yeah, let's just say if she's going to work, I'm gonna say no. I don't think she's high. She's trying to get her job
She's too
done.
impatient to be high.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Karen, are you high?
I'm a surgeon. No, just kidding.
Oh, jeez.
No, I am not hot.
All right, good.
Okay, we'll go to all the way around.
I don't do anything like that anymore, so I'm cool.
Anymore. All right. Well, thank you for jumping on with us, Karen. And from now on, we'll start calling out Susans.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. Denny's again. Perfect.
Oh, we had two fun girls.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Home run, Josh.
Figured.
I got to tell you right now, the potato chip battle is neck and neck. It is pinging back and forth between Lay's and Ruffles on Twitter.
What do you think, Denny's?
I'm a Ruffles man.
Get out.
I know. I
Thank
heard Virginia
you.
being
Get
the
out of the
soul
studio.
voice in here
I
earlier.
need your voice, Denny's.
The Ruffles have ridges, right?
They're so
How do you do that?
Ruffles.
Ruffles.
That was the old commercial back in the
Yeah, it
90s.
Ruffles have ridges. Nope.
Are you okay?
Ruffles have ridges. I can't do it. I can't roll.
I thought you figured that out.
I can do the. What word did I do?
I don't know. You did it.
Manana? No, I did a word.
That doesn't have an R
No,
in it.
that's not it. Jeez.
Stupido? Did you do that one?
What are you calling me? I wasn't,
What are you calling
I
me?
wasn't ready, Professor.
Why do you let me talk?
Ruffles have. I can't do it anymore.
It's so fun to hear you try.
Okay, it is tied 50 each right now on
Wow.
Twitter.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
tight. We got to go vote, Denny's.
All right,
Yeah.
go to KVJ Twitter. Just look for at KVJ Show, and you can vote right there.
Do you want to watch the KVJ show live or on demand? Find us on youtube.com/KVJ Show.
All right, we got the After the Show podcast coming up here in just about 5 to 10 minutes. Before we get to that, Jaybird, if you'd wrap up our Friday with your thought of the day.
Here's a Father's Day quote.
Aw, good.
There's not a lot of them out there. So this is the one you're going to have to settle with, all right?
Oh, he's setting the bar low.
Dads, hold our hands for a little while and hold our hearts forever.
Adorable.
Did you miss an episode of the KVJ Show? No worries. Find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or kvjshow.com.